It's kind of a funny story because I never thought I wanted to be a teacher. I always wanted to be a doctor. I remember I was doing the line to medical school, and that's when I was thinking, and I just said, you know what? I don't think this is what I really want to do. I just want to pass along the gift of the language, and I just signed him to teaching school, so it was like a last minute thing. I moved here in 2010, and even though I was able to communicate in English, it was a surprise when I went to college, and there were so many things that I didn't know culturally and with the language. I will never forget all of the times in which I made mistakes. Sometimes I felt it brought me down. There were moments in which I wanted to give up. The whole experience was so overwhelming, and I can see that in some of our students when they're here. Many times I talk to them and I said, you know what, I know exactly what's going on. I like to share my story of perseverance. I want them to understand that it is possible to overcome all of those difficulties. The teaching job, it can be very rewarding. When you can see in their eyes that spark when they understand something, that's the moment that you think, you know what, this is why I do what I do, and this is what I love what I do.
I am the oldest of my siblings and all of my cousins. So growing up, I've always was the one, let me show you how to do this, let me explain this to you, just always having that passion to want to teach. I started out as a kindergarten teacher, and then the opportunity came open for talent development, and I just always have had a passion for challenging my learners and really wanting to get them to that next level. Not only do I like to challenge my learners and be these deep thinkers, but I also really like them to work on their social emotional self as well. So we set goals and want them to really think about who they want to be. We did bracelets. They had to think of a word and commit themselves to that word and strive for their goal. We do a lot of coding and engineering and STEM and STEAM activities. So I like to bring that into the classroom as much as I can to really prepare them for 21st century learning and citizens of the world.
Well, I'm the typical little girl teaching her stuffed animals all through her childhood. I remember when my mom got me a real teacher's manual, and that sealed the deal. I really want kids who are in my classroom to practice being kind, being compassionate, being empathetic. And those are not things that they necessarily innately do on their own, and we really need to step up and teach those to kids. Academics will always fall into place, but being a good person, I feel like it kind of takes over all of that. We had big conversations around one of our friends that lost their grandpa, and they might not want to talk about grandpa, but we can just touch their back. We can ask them if they want a hug. We can try to distract them with something else. And the kids stepped up, and our little friend, who was so sad, heartbroken, felt loved and cared for in our classroom family. And those are skills that they need to have forever. Our second grade team here does a second grade unity day, and we make shirts. They're adorable, and we put on a parade, and we literally march through the halls of the school chanting our "Stop Bullying Now" message. It is a day they never forget. And even when we were going through the hallways, all my past students were like, I remember when we did our parade, and they're cheering for the kids. And that's a powerful message in the arms of 7-year-olds. Like, we believe this is important. We think you should be kind. We think you should treat others the way that you want to be treated. And that's the way our family lives here at Oak Hill.
I am Oak Hill.
I am Oak Hill.
I am Oak Hill.